would be nice.
That would be
I'm not asking for 5. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to jump into the draft here. We'll see what map it is. It looks like it's going to be a broken walls again.
Till my last breath.
Thank you very much, whoever said that. And yes, Alter Ego first pick here, batting out the Harif as well as batting out the Valentina.
Totally different approach.
Hey, this is Coach Zephyr, man, Professor X.
Yep, they will first pick the Sora, I feel like. If not the Leomord, but I feel like, yeah, maybe the Sora. Because if you look back at the previous game, they prioritized the Yuzhong. Yuzhong and Cho was their blue 2 and 3 picks. And the reason why they didn't pick up the Sora was probably because they are afraid of that sudden Valentina pickup. That's also the reason why they didn't do it in the lower stage. So maybe this Valentina signals the Sora pickup. However, Aurora, they're going to be very happy about the trade because now, if the Sora gets picked up by AE, that is Grok and Shin that they will get. So, I think all things considered, Grok is the best first pick.
Yes, Grok is the best first pick. We're expecting Jushin to get picked up for the side of Aurora +1. I think this might just be another Fredrin game coming in if they want to be very honest here, or they could just wait a little bit later.
Yeah, Fredrin, maybe Fredrin and Jushin, the first 2 picks.
I mean, Leomord is still open, so I don't know. In terms of junglers, there's still quite a few.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see them delaying it a little bit. But yeah, I feel like Jushin you gotta take because Rockshin is pretty strong.
So it's the Granger and the Jushin instead. They're not showing their hand yet when it comes to their Demon Kite jungle choices. And if you're Alter Ego, you will rethink your Leomord. It is still pretty good though. Leomord, obviously,
I think you gotta trust.
Just gotta
just
trust that the process. You have the Grok anyways. You're fine in the mid lane. Maybe just get a Farsa so that you have that Grok Farsa for you.
I kind of want it simple, just like Eve Leo. Yeah. Oh, but the CC instead.
That's the CC that we're talking about earlier. Reef's game. But now, if you're Aurora, you will now rethink your Fredrin just because of both the Eve as well as the CC. So they might just change this up. There still is the Yusen Shin though. That's the scariest part of being in the second phase, where in your jungle choice, if you want to do it red 3, you can easily adjust it. I would favor Yusen Shin here for Aurora, as it is a good hero with the Granger, and at the same time, you're not that scared of the CC at all.
Unless you accidentally get, curtain call together, and then that's a bit of a mistake on their positioning parts, but generally speaking, yeah, there's a lot of deterrence coming from both sides. We're not seeing as many steals as we did in game number 1 and 2. We were expecting the setup for the eventual Sora coming in from AE, but now Aurora has decided, you know what? We have plenty of options in the jungle. Let's pick up the Tro right now, and we've almost locked down the mid lane.
Are we just going to see both teams just choking out that jungle pool? But if they do that, Aurora definitely has the advantage here.
For sure. Especially because they have the red 4 priority. I don't think that it's smart for Alter Ego to oblige when it comes to limiting your jungler options. They might be better off just taking out the XP lane choices, like maybe a Yuzhong, which is still available. Even the Sora at this point. They do have the CC though, which is okay against the Sora.
Yep.
Generally speaking, they have the superior XP lane choice. I guess here, maybe Arlet might be their last option as a ban.
Well, right now we got to talk about the relationships between the heroes here. Eve as well as Grok, the rock manipulation here, going up against the current heroes of Aurora. Do you feel like this is already a pretty good mid duo to deal with them?
I think it depends, right? Because at level 1, there is the possibility that somehow Light is able to get a full combination on top of Hijime, and that ends the laning phase almost straight away if the regeneration gets cancelled out later down the line by Yue as they fight in lane. But that's, that's besides the point. I feel like as we are looking at the EXP, the Sora is getting banned out. We're completely avoiding the junglers. Yeah, Esme is something they need to consider, but then things like something that's super safe is Lapu Lapu for the side of Aurora just to get on top of the Eve.
Arlet should be the ban as well from Alter Ego, but I think the safest for Alter Ego is the Lapu Lapu, because it kind of just achieves so much. They ban the Esmeralda, indeed. But that will mean that Aurora can also benefit from that ban. They can pick up the Lapu Lapu themselves in red 4, and that will open up a lot of stuff for Dominkite. They can even go for the Joy if in that scenario, especially if Alter Ego will commit to another fighter, and of course a weak jungler, I mean not a fast farming jungler.
Yeah.
So I think the Lapu Lapu just fits the bill for Aurora.
the reason why I feel like the Esme is a pretty good ban here, because looking at all the bans that Alter Ego has done, it's kind of protecting Hijume here. So I kind of feel like they talk behind the scenes. They're like, okay, you know what? Hijume's got to carry just a little bit, but that might mean that Arfi is going to carry the late game. Yusachin is still open if they want to go for double fighters.
Yep.
And let's see here, Leomord is open as well in case if they just want to go for comfort.
I feel like they sort of have to take it at this point, right? Because once you take that Leomord, at least then you have a little bit of threat around these neutral objectives, and you're, pulling eyes towards yourself to allow everybody else to kind of play around it.
I think the best option here for Alter Ego is to get the Alice, because there's not much killing potential from around the burst. They go for Alice as their XP lane, and then go for maybe a Leomord again. They pick up the Lapu Lapu.
For denial?
For denial. I think this is for denial, but that also opens up Alice for Aurora. But Arlen, I think that they're just going to go Arlen. This is why I felt like the Arlen should have been the ban for Alter Ego instead of the Esmeralda.
I agree, but I think at the end of the day, right, the Esmeralda, I think that AE wanted to kind of be a little bit more flexible with the CC. So honestly, good on the backstaff from Aurora to say, you know what, let's take Fredrin first, wait for the full reveal, and now we have the options of actually going into the Arlet if we wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, like, going up against Aurora, I would say going up against any team here in the M7 is kind of like, just pick your poison. Because you know it's going to come, but at the same time, sometimes you just got to take it.
Maybe Alice is a better option, but the Arlet's top one, Alice may be the second choice. There is a world where they pick up Terizla because there's a lot of physical damage here from Alter Ego.
That works too.
Yep, but the Arlet indeed is still going to be the pick. Honestly, looking really good for Aurora. Very standard draft that they have, but I think Alter Ego's draft is much better, has a better chance this game compared to game number 1.
What about you? What do you think about this one, Gideon?
I think it's going to be a little bit harder. I think that for AE, at the very least, they have a couple more options to play around. But so far, based on what we've seen in Aurora, as long as they don't mess up too hard in the early game, their recovery is so good coming into mid, and especially when we come down to late. So many of their composition styles is basically, hey, Blaze 5, Death Ball, peel, peel, peel.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Alter Ego has to win this one, because if not, Aurora will get match point. And we all know how high that pressure is going up against an opponent as strong as Aurora when they have match point. So now we're going to throw it over to the casters, Leo, Trex, as well as Mirko. It's your time to shine.
Till the enemy reaches the battlefield.
Gideon Q pointed out a very pertinent trait that this lineup from Aurora could show up here in game number 3, the Death Ball. We might be throwing back to another Filipino staple strat that won them 2022's MSC in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, Alter Ego is still yet to score a single point in this grand finals matchup.
It's a comfortable formation for Aurora, but I have to say as well for Alter Ego, they finally kind of go back to an identity that they are well with. Fighters on the off lanes, a Leomord. They get Alec on something that can make plays, and it's all going to work around this RWM if they can make the catches. If there's a game that I felt like, okay, they have a good chance of winning, I do like Alter Ego's draft here.
So is it safe to say if they don't win this one, we're seeing a 4-0?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to speak in absolutes, but the fact that Arfi is on a fighter, and all throughout the series, game 1 and game 2, if you've watched it, you'll know that they forced the same kind of violence onto Aurora Gaming, and the Northern Lights just keep saying no, then that might be it. Looking at the lane-to-lane matchup, Nino here, spots light. Up top, it's the CC versus the Granger. I'd say this is as close to a fighter to marksman as it is to a marksman kind of matchup you could get.
Yeah, I do think Alter Ego in that gold lane, we may see some more rotation, a little bit of action in the mid, nothing crazy, but we might see quicker rotations at least coming from Arfi, which is going to be important, especially when it comes down to first, second turtle. We know how Arfi loves going against these marksmen with a fighter in his hands.
Yeah, he knows the matchup really, really well, so you can already see him winning it out, but for Doming, it's fine too. I think Arfi right now, it's interesting that he's actually sending the shove the waves. Like this wave before turtle makes sense, but the other waves earlier, right? Like, he should be shoving now. He shouldn't be trading. And earlier, he should be trading, freezing the waves.
And then he can just run down, forcing a flicker out of Hijume here.
Uh-oh, no flickers. Gonna be all in on him. The taunt as well. Light able to get the first blood. Yasuke very low because of the Edward earlier. That's Yasuke trying to get in. Demon Kai walks up. It's a late, or it's an early retreat from Yasuke. And Demon Kai just snatches away the turtle from him.
Early retreat and an early death. for Alter Ego Esports. Yasuke down. I'm having flashbacks from previous games.
Oh, Light! Able to get away to Dragon Energy Kundo now, all in on him. But Light took a bit too many shots.
Oh.
Now gonna go down as well though, so it's a 1-for-1 in the bottom lane.
The damage on that slam, again amplified by the health you have as a fighter in the EXP lane. You have a respectable amount. 1,000 up for Aurora Gaming now.
At least Nino finds something there, but it's not big. You find
Nope.
Roamer, he's gonna be right back on the map. And look, you give gold plating, you give lane presence over to Aurora Gaming, over to Edward at that, who has been such a star in this series.
They're gonna all in onto Demonkite, and he goes straight for the friction. That RWM was actually misplaced. Light goes in, a big pump from Demonkite! And now it's Yue! Knocking two members up, Hijume, no flicker. 0-2-0, it's a double kill for Demonkite.
Alter Ego in shambles, and we're only 3.5 minutes in. Yasuke 0-2-0, Hijume 0-2-0. The stat board is going downhill for Alter Ego.
I don't even need to look for the ball. There's just a lot of death coming around for Alter Ego, and Aurora Gaming PH are serving it up. Half a minute till the turtle spawn, same spot. I think we're done with the gold lane advantage. Alter Ego have to figure out where else can we win, because Arfi bullying Dominkite is beyond the fact. There's not much they're getting from there.
Demonkite's the one with 3 kills under his belt. We said it a little bit earlier. Aurora Gaming feeling like they got a little bit of a stampede going. Taking some notes from their brethren, and they really are.
You can say that again, because cover these names, cover the team, and this could be a liquid draft.
Yep.
So what do we do from here for Alter Ego Esports? They've been behind, a nice flicker forced out from Hijume.
Huge.
Aurora Gaming at this point, I mean, Alter Ego, yes, they've fought from behind like this, but normally at least their mid is doing okay. Normally Hijume is doing okay. Normally Yasuke is doing okay. At this, it's only Arfi without a death.
Turtle here, started up by Aurora Gaming. No contest from Alter Ego, with no eminent play either. It seems like Alter Ego have just decided to stay behind their own comfort zones and farm up. Well, where is the farm going to, though? There's really not much scaling.
Exactly. I mean, the CC saying the scaling tech charge coming down, but great reaction now. Light definitely going to be looking for the re-engage now, as that's going to be Alec isolated, taken out by Dominkite. Light! Kundo on the way to Dragon, bring Hijume back, and Doming with a double. Now with a big bonk, Yue takes it away.
Aurora Gaming is hunting right now.
Oh! You know, next.
No.
Oh, Doming with the flicker out from the bravest fighter! And the recall on Nino's corpse!
Not against 4. Not against 4, El Padre. Ay, ay, ay.
Alter Ego is coming into these fights thinking they're still in the lower bracket, thinking they can still muscle around their opponents. But Aurora Gaming was ready for this. They've been watching, they've been waiting for this.
I've been saying this since yesterday, and it was good when Alter Ego only knew one speed, but now they're on the back foot. They're cornering Edward.
No way he gets away from this, right? That's an all-in, and RP picks up a kill, so finally Alter Ego, they get a kill after what, 3 minutes?
I mean, Light's playing out of his mind right now as well. He always shows up in the nick of time, and he didn't even use his Way of the Dragon on Alec earlier. He gets a kill on Alec, then flicks in and finds Hijume. I mean, Aurora Gaming, it's tough right now for Alter Ego.
Tough is an understatement, especially when you're down 2 games with nothing when it comes to gameplay or even a comeback. All that Alter Ego have scored all series long are little kills, small trades. Some of them they won in the first 2 games, but here, again, all they got was a kill on Edward down bottom and a Light. Trying to get Arfi here, he's gone!
Final slash, Edward takes him down. RWM with no one to follow it up. Now Light is just gonna go in. Oh, try to bait out the flicker from Hijume, but they've already gotten the turtle on top of that.
Here's the kicker for Aurora Gaming as well, is they still have Dominkite with a Sky Piercer at 3-0-1. Who, even if Alter Ego score,
Gets a steal, but he gets kicked back into Dominkite. Now final slash from Edward! Hijume low, it's an all into the backline as Nino gets caught up into it all, tries to deal some damage again, a big bonk that doesn't land, but Demonkite still gets to kill. Doming will try his best to get another
One by one, they all fall under the Buddha Demon Kite right now. Bonk after bonk. He's a tanky boy, but he's still 4-0-5.
It's been a hot minute since Demon Kite tasted victory. He's gone around the world, played in Malaysia, came back to the Philippines, and now here in Jakarta. Just mere moments away from match point. Again, 2-0, and no clear signs of life from Alter Ego. A quick look once again at that sequence. An Aurora Alpha strike, no signs of doubt. Even underneath that tier 2 in mid, they were just counting ults, counting battle spells. Halfway through that fight, there was nothing left for Alter Ego.
And Edward is searching for an FMVP at this point. The guy has made play after play from game 1 to game 2 to game 3. And look at range, Doming hurts so much.
And he's finding his own teammate for it, because Light is doing pretty good himself.
Taking a look at the items. Like I said, we just got a Malefic Gun in for Doming Kite. A 1.4K gold. I mean, everyone's got 1,000 plus gold lead at this time. There's really not much to talk about. Aurora Gaming has multiple, I mean, everyone's an item up at this point.
And who I feel it stings the most for is Yasuke.
Yes.
This is his signature pick. He almost single-handedly made Leomord a threat in the knockout stage. I was laughing at Leomord in the Swiss, but looking at the stats, oh, Yasuke, how has he proven me wrong? But now against a Fredrin, who he's down almost 2,000 gold off of, can't even dive in when he hits that Phantom Steed. He's at about the same stat base as the Fredrin, and that's a no-go. You're not gonna get anywhere with that.
So here's the thing, right? Because Alter Ego Esports, we thought the meta was getting set down in the lower bracket. We thought what we were watching was the answer to everything. Aurora Gaming isn't even changing much of their gameplay strategy, changing much of their picks. They are the meta at this point. Whatever they want, their composition is winning out.
And we seem to be circling back in M3, Singapore. The world saw how you could play MLBB in a different way. The Ubistrat was debuted by Blacklist International. Now Aurora Gaming are throwing back to that. A free lord coming from them, spawning in about 25 seconds.
And who better to lead that Ube strat than Edward and your EXP laner, someone who was part of the creation, who was there for that moment. Alter Ego Esports. We are watching Arfi try to make it to the top, once again putting band-aids on flesh wounds.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's gonna go for the clear now. But also Yue, the guy there before the combo, before the trio completely left. He was part of that roster too, and now, Edward just flickers out once! He still goes for the Bravest Spider. The 1v1 will not happen. Edward's gonna try to cancel out the recalls. RP just gonna go for the turret up top, and they're still cutting the waves at the base. He's gonna be targeted out by Aurora.
But there's a Lord at your base right now. And Alec is all alone. They're trying to get back.
RP is already there. Yasuke doesn't have the steed. Lord already at the base right now. As Alex has been caught on the Juju. No! Dominkai gunning them down! And it's Yue to throw him back! The base wide open! Aurora Gaming Philippines are a game away from cementing themselves in history!
Your jaw dropped. I saw that. In awe and in silence, the seemingly unstoppable Alter Ego cannot score against Aurora. And Aurora have barely lifted a finger. They played the same game 3 games into this series. How?
We saw 3 different faces in game 1, 2 to 3, and none of those faces were enough to even get a win, a single win. All the turtles have gone to Aurora. It's perfect from Aurora. And for Alter Ego, what's next? We already teased at the idea. What if they lose here with the Fighter Gold? What if they lose here with the Leomord, with the Chusin on Hijime? These are all the comforts that we've come to know from Alter Ego, aside from obviously the Freya that is banned out.
Something's got to give. There's got to be something else left in the playbook of Coach Zephyr and Coach Styx to change the tides of battle, to give Alter Ego a second wind, because there's no turning back.
You know, I love the look of Edward on stage. He's just dazed out. It's like he's talking to himself saying, is this it? Let's throw it back to our panel as they break down the game. –
Well, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of feel like no matter what questions everyone gives, there's really one question everyone is asking. How do you stop this utility jungler? How do you stop this Ube strat? Because even our casters talk about it. It started back at M3. This is M7. There's no changes towards, you know, Fred, Boxia. In fact, it was nerfed. And it's still one of the strongest things that you can do in MLBB.
I gotta say that Alter Ego attempted in game number 3. We did say that they had a better chance.
I would say this entire M7, everyone tried.
Everyone really tried. I think that they have the tools to actually manage it. Like they have the Eve, they have also the CC. However, they're really not winning the first turtle. I feel like the way for you to eventually take over the utility jungler role is to win that first turtle fight. I think we are not seeing Alter Ego adjust to that first turtle. They're always giving it. They're always dying or getting poked before the game even starts, before that first turtle fight even starts, and you're not even utilizing your EX play to its full potential. The mid lane duo, although it is looking real good for Alter Ego, they're also not winning the lanes, in fact. And you can see that Yasuke is also getting bombarded in the jungle.
I don't know about you boys, but I think it's very, very clear. I think this is going to end up as a 4-0 and sweep for Aurora. Because the way that we are seeing AE, it's not like how we saw yesterday, right? The recovery isn't as clean. Everyone's a little bit more hesitant to go for the save. And I think more importantly, there's just no momentum behind them. After that game number 1, they feel deflated coming into game 2. And I think, especially here in game 3, it was very evident that they just could not do much.
At this point, it really is come to what else can they do? Because you can't say that they didn't draft around what Aurora is showing, because they knew what Aurora is going to show. They drafted in a way that they have the answers. And I feel like they kind of want to get that first turtle, but again, Aurora will not let them have it. Right now, we're going to look at the MVP of this game by an official gaming phone, Realme, and it goes over to Light. Because at this point, as amazing as all 5 members of Aurora, it really is the Light and Edward show. There's no way to stop these guys.
Yeah. 1, and 11. You know, Leo already mentioned that this is very reminiscent of the Ube. I disagree. I think there is going to be a little bit of a variation here, because it's not just about, hey, we stay together, we win together. There's an outreach. There's a level of, hey, Edward, stick your hand out a little bit further, and don't worry, you're never alone this time, because you got Light to compensate and to support you.
One of the underrated ways to actually approach Ube that maybe most people do not really recognize is the fact that you can get in and out of the fight so easy. If you master going in and out of the fights, you sustain yourself, and then the fight becomes very easy for you. That is exactly what happened in Turtle number 1, where there was a jump coming out from the Lapu-Lapu. They just back out just a little bit, enough for them to get out of the zone of the damage and then turn the fight around.
Again, I kind of feel like Light and Edward is the problem. Because I agree with you, right? There are ways to deal with it, but at this point, Edward and Light has cemented this style in their system so well that they counter the counters.
Information is powerful. The mechanics is the key to why they are finding so many different opportunities against AE by kicking their shins out, right? It feels like they don't have a strong foundation to sit on when Hijime goes down. And even for Alec, he's looking for opportunities. It's not like he's completely out of the water. But they time the cooldowns very well. Oh, the Nature's Barrier pops up. Great, no Mighty Swing. That's something else we can take advantage of.
The strength of the utility junglers, particularly the Fredrin with the Jushin, once again, by the way, from Aurora, which we did say is a combo that you should break if you're facing up against Aurora. The strength of that kind of composition is that it breaks that rock, paper, scissors thing of utility versus assassin versus fighters. It just wins both matchups. It's clear that when up against the Leomord, it works so well. When now up against assassin, obviously it's not going to be enough. So we have seen in games 1 and 3 how good this lineup is. Now, we turn the question back to Alter Ego. Alter Ego has won when teams don't ban the Freya against them. And they now be not prideful enough to actually ban or break Fredrin and Jushin.
It's very difficult because Aurora, they always draft in a way where it's crowd control overload, and whatever you think they lack in damage, they just win by momentum as well as gold. Like, we can use 5 tanks, but if we're 5,000 to 6,000 ahead in gold, we're still gonna hurt you. right?
I really envision what you're trying to say. And that's very true. And where does that start? Where does the lead actually build up? I hate to sound like a broken record. The first turtle fight.
Yeah.
You really have to put priority. That Alter Ego needs to review what they have been doing in the past 3 games. Make sure that they are all aligned. Let's not do sour lanes. Let's not try to go for over 50-50s kind of risks. Then just focus on that first turtle fight, win it, and then maybe you have a shot at the mid-game.
And this is why I think that AE is probably going to drop the following game, because again, it's the lack of experience and more so being on a high, I would say the pinnacle